It's a wet and warm edition of the Funcast from visitmysmokies.com. I'm your Smoky Mouth meteorologist, Paul Poteet. It is so warm. How warm is it, Paul? So warm that they had to shut down the ski season and the snowboarding season at Gatlinburg as of February 19th. I mean, they were fighting 7 inches of rain that has fallen there since the start of the month. I've got another inch or two in the forecast for this week. Now, it's not as much as they're getting to the west of us this week, but still on top of everything else, and some very mild temperatures. Just had to move on. The good news is, it started earlier than normal, the skiing season this time around. So they've been up and running since December 9th, and so big crowds ever since then, up through the start of February. And the other good news is you can still snow tube at Gatlinburg. That's going to continue on daily through April 1st. The Ski Mountain Coaster is brand new and still rolling, and they've got a scenic chairlift, indoor ice skating, shopping, dining. It adds up to a full day of fun at Gatlinburg. And here's a couple of days of Gatlinburg Improv Fest fun. There will be shows at the Improv Fest Friday night, the 23rd, Saturday night, the 24th, and improv workshops on Saturday during the day. It all takes place at the Sweet Fanny Adams Theater. That's at 461 Parkway, downtown Gatlinburg. And also this weekend, the Rese Glen Literary Festival. That's at the Sevierville Convention Center. Best-selling author Wiley Cash is the keynote speaker. Authors all day long that'll speak on a range of topics. And just like with the Improv Fest, there are workshops. At this particular event, the workshops are for would-be writers. Well, writer, performer, businesswoman Dolly Parton has another long season of fun waiting for you at Dollywood, just over 3 weeks away from the opening of the park. This story in our Things to Know section details park hours and attractions for the seasons, and there are plenty of links. And this story in that same section talks about Dollywood's recent ranking in the USA Today Reader's Choice poll. What are the 2 biggest attractions in Tennessee? Well, let's just say think entertainers who can go by just one name, and I think you might be on the right track. A couple of nice and relatively mild days in my forecast, and so we thought we'd publish a list of the top 6 things to do when you visit Douglas Lake, which is known around the country for both largemouth bass and crappie fishing. If those big temps are giving you a little spring fever, also a gentle reminder that you'll want to book those cabins now for spring break. Just click where to stay from the main menu. Look at this. I mean, we have places that could be getting up to around 80 in the 7-day forecast. Normal temp this time of year for a high would be in the 50s. Well, that's what we're getting for nighttime lows. Every day, probably 70 or better till we get to Sunday, and then it's only in the upper 60s. You might have to work around some showers and storms at times on Wednesday and Thursday, and it looks like the weekend could be wet, especially Saturday going into Sunday morning. Hope you're going to find us soon when you visit mysmokies.com.